Why did the internet die? Is the question you're probably hearing at a Starbucks this morning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes, like make videos, but something that I enjoy doing is programming and tinkering with code and basically creating the next evolution of virtual machines. I know, laugh it out of your system. Now, of course, one of the GitHubs that I've been sort of perusing around is vGPU Unlock, okay? Where basically NVIDIA graphic cards that you and I buy have the potential ability to split them up into pieces and have one graphic card power like 4 virtual machines. It's a lot more complicated than, in fact, this entire thing is complicated, okay? I have lost sleep. I have lost my will to live sometimes. This needs to be finished. It's a lot harder than it looks, okay? But I'm going to get it done. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be the one that gets it going. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as beautiful as this project is, when things fail in the programming department, I usually use something called Stack Overflow. Now, I went to Stack Overflow this morning and error 503. Ooh! Now, what's an error 503, buckos? Ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty hard to tell you what an error 503 is, but usually it's when the server and the website it's supporting is having a bit of an issue, okay? I want you to think of this video like a Linus Tech Quickie video, except it's not really as fast as possible. It's just your alcoholic Indian uncle telling you something about computers. I like to think of these as the way back to my college professor, who liked to talk a whole heck of a lot more than teach, but hey, that's some... Those are some dark past moments coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, the internet died, okay? For an hour, and the internet collectively crapped itself. One cursory glance will show you that global glitch, major internet outage, major websites begin to come back online. Websites across the internet from the New York Times to the British government went down today. Even Amazon went down. And Amazon is actually the provider of AWS, one of the services that a lot of people use to power the internet across the globe. Amazon's so big that they have to use basically every other cloud service to even operate from a day-to-day. So when portions of their websites go down, it's bad news across the board. Now, before Windows 10 fucks this virtual machine in the asshole, let's get on to the real meat and potatoes. In 2021, what is a single failure point for a lot of websites? Well, it can be their cloud service provider. See, a lot of websites and services will use a cloud server provider to actually host, to actually be operable to around everyone on the internet, okay? Now, if you go back to when we made Muda VPN, I made a service on Google Cloud Servers, Google Cloud Compute Service, which is where not just me hosting Muda VPN, but it's actually where a lot of major websites and services choose to partake in hosting their actual products on the internet. Game servers, web pages, payment services can oftentimes run through these cloud services. And cloud services are massive services that basically have distributed servers all over the world to distribute the load and help people access websites easily across the board. Now, in this case, a service known as Fastly, you might be like, what's Fastly? You may not have heard of it, but your favorite website probably has. They are one of the biggest cloud service providers ever, and by all accounts, and you can take my word for it, they are actually pretty goddamn decent at what they do. They had a little bit of a hiccup regarding POP servers. These guys ended up going down, okay? This is one of their service statuses where, like, sometime 6 hours ago, thank you, by the way, when I was working on good old-fashioned GitHub stuff. I mean, I played Shenmue afterwards, so it's not like I did anything better after, but they were investigating an issue where they were constantly updating people, and these few engineers had to brave on and fix the internet for, like, what, 50% of services on the internet at all? I mean, if you look at it, they're basically telling you they found the fix, fixed it up, and now it's resolved, okay? So the internet was effectively down for a timeline of 1 hour, maybe a little bit more. They gave an entire affected location going all the way from Asia Pacific, Brisbane, Dubai, Hong Kong, Melbourne, Osaka, Bern, Chicago, Phoenix, Vancouver. Yeah, all major centers were hit, let me tell you, god damn. Even websites like The Verge collectively shat themselves when they realized, ooh, our website's fucking dead. They actually ended up making a Google Doc, which... get this. People, they actually left the edit permissions on their own Google Doc, and everyone on Twitter was just like fucking around with their official Google Doc for actually spreading news around the world. It was hilarious. The Google Doc is fixed as of now, But that was a pretty funny event that happened. God damn, I'm glad that I lived to see that. Now, according to Fastly, good old-fashioned at 7 a.m., they discovered we identified a service configuration that triggered disruptions across our POPs globally. I guess that's Post Office Protocol. I have no idea what they're referencing there, but I think it's Post Office Protocol. Anyways, point is, they actually made a little problem, took down the internet for a little bit, but they came back shining and brilliant as always. So there you have it, buckos. There was no grandiose hack. There was no crappy conspiracy theory to wow us away. It was really a bunch of engineers testing a couple things out. They made a little mistake, took down, what, 60% of the internet and came back around. You know what's really shocking is actually in 2021, most modern infrastructure has a single point of failure for all services across the board. Dog, you could be New York Times all the way up to Reddit. You could be the engineer sitting there pretty, like always, and all of a sudden your website stops working and it just goes down to the cloud service provider. And it's really up to them to fix it steadfast, if you will. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this kind of stuff I won't say happens all the time, but when it happens, you can bet your ass it makes national headlines. The internet being down for an hour caused everyone to go into full panic mode, and in reality, it's kind of expected. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I find really odd about this is the misinformation that could potentially flow around. No, there isn't some conspiracy theory or crazy hack like always. It just comes down to some engineers fucking around. Now, that being said, though, I hope you've all at least learned how fragile the internet can really be sometimes. And what's kind of weird is lately, with all these massive hacks that we've seen just this year with SolarWinds and good old-fashioned Colonial Pipeline, which thanks a lot, guys. By the way, my gas is still ass-fucking me in my credit card statements, but that's a whole different story. And now we're moving on to a point where even these, like, entire global, like, cloud service providers are beginning to see some points of failures. Times are weird that we live in, but if it's anything, it shows us how dependent we are on the internet and how our society can't live without it for 60 fucking minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back alive and there. I just wanted to make a video to educate y'all on why the internet dies sometimes, because this isn't the first time it's happened. This happens like once every year, probably once every 6 months, and there seems to be everyone freaking out over and over because of it. So hopefully you all learned something today, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Mutahar. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I'm going to waste my time recording more Shenmue, and I might get this NVIDIA thing done. That being said, I am out.